Willie D Live.
The same soul food that is killing and taking your soul. So I think that we need to establish who we are as a people. Then once we establish who we are as a people and we find our true culture and identity, when you tap back into that culture and identity, you will see that the literature is lying. All of us didn't eat meat. Every first thing they want to say is, well, we go back to hunters and gatherers. Says who? Says the books that you was reading that was written by your oppressor. Like, show me that without your oppressor telling you that. And then show me what meat eating have done for us. Now, I see a bunch of Europeans on the carnivore diet and they're thriving off of it. I see it. They're losing weight. They're kicking their body into ketosis. They're gaining muscles. The actual neurological functionings and cells are firing off. They think quicker. They're getting rid of the brain fog. But you take that same specific diet and give it to a so-called African-American, or who I'm going to call an Aboriginal melanated being, they get sick. Their body sets up in putrefaction. They get worms off of it. Diabetes mellitus and hyperglycemia sets up. Their blood pressure and hypertension go up off the same food, showing you that we're biologically different. All I'm trying to do is wake my people up and say, hey, we've been lied to. We've been bamboozled. We've been eating another people's food. We've been worshiping another people's God. We've been drinking another people's liquids. It's time to wake up and find our own. And if we can't find our own, we need to go into nature, see what we closely assimilate with, and we need to rebuild the culture. And that's it.
Did you see the video that was circulating of the prime steak?
Yeah.
It was raw and it was bleeding.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it cost like $70,000 and this is the way you're supposed to eat a steak.
You are supposed to. If you don't eat a steak bleeding, then why are you eating the steak? Because the blood is where all the phytonutrients set. When you look at the body is made of 150 trillion cells when it comes to so-called black people. When it comes to Caucasians, their body is made from 50 to 70 trillion cells. When you look at Asians and Mongoloids or Mongolians, their body is made from 70 to 100 trillion cells. So even when you're talking about the content of the cells that make up the full human body, even the range of cells is different. We have more cells than anybody else. We actually go through cellular mitosis more than anybody else. Our cells can divide before they die and rebirth themselves more than anybody else. That's why we have such adaptation cells than anybody else. So we can adapt and live in any climate and adapt to it because of the way our cells are and the melanin content and the carbon that we have built up. So even when you look at that, if you look at meat eating, the body is made of 150 trillion cells. You have three functionings in the body. The blood. The blood is what feeds the cells nutrients. It feeds the cells oxygen. And it goes through exchange, where exchange oxygen for carbon dioxide, and then you exhale that carbon dioxide, and then the plants breathe in that carbon dioxide, and then they exhale oxygen and give you oxygen. So you have the blood, which feeds the cells all the phytonutrients and sugars that it need. Then you have something called the nervous system that commands the cells and tells the cells what to do. Then last but not least, you have something called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. So if all of the phytonutrients is in the blood and only a little nutrients is in the tissues, because then once it goes into tissues, it goes into the cells, then the cells burn it up and utilize it. Then it produces some type of lactic acid or carbonic acid, sulfuric acid, some type of acid or byproduct come from it. So that means potentially all the nutrients is in the blood. Why would I get a steak? This is how you know that we're not meat eaters. Why would I get a steak, drain it of all the blood where all the nutrients at, then cook the rest of the blood within the tissues of the meat, then eat it? And we know that so-called black people love their meat well done. You're not getting none of the phytonutrients. What you're getting is utilized proteins, and you're getting utilized minerals, which the body really can't do nothing with. So
is eating a steak, a raw steak that's bleeding, that's the proper way to eat a steak?
That's the proper way to eat.
Is it good for the body?
That's a proper way to eat any meat if it's raw and it's bleeding, but it's not the proper way for a human to eat it. A proper way for a human to eat it is not to eat it at all. But if you look, not to eat it at all. No, I don't. I haven't ate meat in like 15 years.
You don't know what you're missing.
No, I know what I'm missing. I used to eat it all the time. Man, I ate steak, bison, lamb. I come from a Hebraic community. My mama Muslim. My father was Hebrew Israelite. So I come from a very, very meat-eating religion and meat-eating culture. We had whole lambs for Passover, and we drained the blood and everything, and we ate the whole lamb. We had bison. I done ate some exotic meats that I can't say on here because it's actually illegal. So I done ate a bunch of stuff. What I realized is I had a heart attack at 21, man.
That's what I was about to ask you about. Did that have something to do with the meat consumption?
Yes, because meat, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and weed. All of that accumulated, and I attacked my heart. But this is what I'm saying. Once I stopped eating the meat, I was able to regenerate my cardiomyo cells. They say that you can't reproduce those cells. They say once the heart cells die, that's what it is. And they say the same thing for brain cells. But I regenerated my cells by not eating meat.